okay? But there's a reason why you go underground.
Protects it?
Yeah, protects it from what?
Weather.
Weather, cold, it freezes. If water freezes, it turns to ice, it doesn't move anymore, and you can't get it in your house and use it in your shower. Okay? So your water comes in your house, and that is a 3/4 inch PEX. It's a bigger line. So it's 3/4 inch PEX. That is good to know too. That's the trunk, that's the main. Okay? Now, the city will provide water that sometimes has a water pressure regulator on it and something like that, because they pressurize it to a certain degree, but you usually it reduces it to the exact pressure for your house so that it works well. And that's usually in your basement or your crawl space or somewhere your mechanical room is. And then the first thing that it's going to hit, first thing it's going to go to, you're going to put the water into a couple of places. But one is a water heater, okay? A water heater. Now, we put water in there to change the temperature, right? Okay?
Hot water heaters mostly in garages.
Garages, that's a lot of garages or basements. That's good because if they break or burst, then they flood, not inside the house. Also, they are big and bulky and take these spaces. Now, there are, more modern ones that have, an instant hot water heater, and they can heat water really fast and lots of it just flowing through, but they take a lot more electricity. So, but your holding tank ones are typically what people have still, but there's two kinds, and it doesn't matter. You can just get water in there and you take water. Now, in your house, you have magical places where you can mix the water to any desired temperature you want. Like, you get the whole spectrum. It's amazing. Like, if the Romans knew about this, they'd be amazed, right? You bring the water in, you can just turn the tap, and you get all varieties of warmth. You can in the shower make your water hotter, and you can bring it down to the right temperature. So you're comfy. You can have it cold. Now, so you got hot water and you got cold water. So we got two lines. So then once our water comes in, a bigger line, like a flow, then we're going to tee off and go into here and supply this thing. And then we're going to go on to supply all the other things, okay? So what we want to do is we want to think about how many points of supply, how many places in our house, okay? So if I change this a little bit, and I'm like, okay, our house doesn't look like that. It looks long and skinny like this. There's our house, okay? Where are we going to send the water? Give me one.
Shower.
Shower. We're gonna go to the shower. Yes, go ahead.
How are we going to supply hot water for the dryer? Not hot water, hot air for the dryer.
Ooh, that's crazy. That's a good time. The dryer itself produces it. It sucks air from the surroundings and it heats the air inside the dryer, and then it spins around. Then it spits it out the back with all the lint and all that. Now you do have to vent that outside because you don't want to spit all that in your house. But that's air, and we're dealing with water, right? We got water. So water heater, water shower. Good job. What else? Where else are we going to send water?
The oven, sink.
We don't need water in our oven. Are you crazy? What are you going to cook the water? Fridge. Oh, some people do supply. You can supply your fridge with water, but I did not pick that one. So.
Oh wait, so we're not going to put ice?
You could, because if you want to have your fridge supplied, okay, we can deal with that later. But remind me later, because that didn't come up in the last class. Sink. Which sink? Kitchen sink? Yeah, we got a window right here. We got this big old sink in front of it, so we're gonna put our sink right there. Okay? We are gonna bring water to our sink in our kitchen. That it? Kitchen sink. Toilet. Very good. Toilet. We're in. Toilet. What else? Washer. We have a washing machine. It's behind this. It's over there in that corner, right? But washing machine requires water. We wash clothes with it.
The bathroom sink.
Bathroom sink. You got it. Bathroom sink. I envision this like really long and skinny, like beautiful thing. I don't know whatever the design team comes up with. But we have now 5 points of water in our house. Like at 5 places, 5 fixtures that we're going to. Right? And a water heater. So the water heater could count as 6.
If we weren't going to supply water to the fridge, that means the fridge wouldn't supply ice. So
true that. We're gonna get back to the fridge. Can we shelf the fridge? Shelf the fridge. Not everybody in the 80s did not have ice coming out of their fridge like magic, okay? Like, this is a modern invention, okay? So there was never any supply to the fridges, but I see what you're saying. We will get that. We can plug them in. They take a really tiny little line. Sometimes you can just run it under the sink and hook it up, but I digress, okay? 5, maybe 6 points if you count the water heater. Where does our water heater go? Well, we have a couple options. Put it in our little mechanical room up here. or we can put it under the sink. I'm inclined now to put it under the sink, okay?
The water heater?
It will require us running a power cord from there underneath there. But I think that we run less water lines because of that. And we don't need to take water and run it all the way up here, run it all the way back. So if we were to hook up our house right on the other side behind this kitchen, if we had a hose to hook up, we could then get water coming into our house and we could get it to come in right here, okay? All right, I'm gonna make a bigger, more detailed picture of this. But for now, let's take our blue line that comes in. One of our blue lines goes to the wall. We're gonna go ahead and make it go where we want it to go. Okay, let's just say that it comes from, we don't know where. Maybe the garage where we're parked, maybe it comes out of a well, maybe we're hooked up to the city water, whatever. It comes into our house right here, okay? First stop on its journey, first stop for our water is our water heater, okay? Then we'll go to, good call, good call. So we'll go blue in there. We'll also take a blue line up here. We'll go over here, down there, we'll hit the washing machine and the shower. And then we'll go over here, we'll drop down the toilet, and we'll go along the wall, we'll hit the sink. Okay? Feel good? Now, do all of these units need hot water from our hot water heater? Do we want hot water in our kitchen sink?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. So we're gonna get a line there. Then we're gonna truck on. Okay, let's say we just kind of like trucked along down here. Do we want hot water in our washing machine? Indeed we do. Do we want hot water in our shower?
No.
Yes.
No need for that. Okay, we're gonna hot water the shower. And we gotta go on down the wall and come over here because we want hot water in our sink too, don't we?
What about the toilet?
Well, this is-
No hot water in the toilet. We're good. You feeling good with that? Yeah, I'm good.
But shouldn't the water heater be close to the shower because the shower needs more hot water than the kitchen sink?
Yes,
And the
that's-
water heater will take longer time to get to the shower. Even though
Typically, yes, but if you're thinking of a big house where the water heater's in the garage and the shower's a long, long ways away, maybe you're gonna have some heat drop. We're like 6 feet away, okay, so we're pretty close. We're not gonna have a lot of heat drop, but I think it's a very good observation that wherever your water is, when it's hot, it then has to travel to another distance. The good thing is that you can turn it up to like 125 degrees, which would burn you. So when you get to the shower, you're gonna mix it with a little bit of cold anyway to like bring it down to the temperature that's most suitable for you. So your heat loss in travel is gonna be super minor in our setup. Now, if we were to put our hot water heater way up here and travel, again, maybe there'd be some heat loss, but I don't think it would be noticeable. I don't think it would be a real big problem.
what type of pipe are we gonna
Yep.
use for the red pipe?
This is it, Pexi. It comes in red and blue. It's identical. It's made of the exact same material.
Are we using the half one or the 3/4
Half.
one?
Half inch, I'm sorry.
So the half one's gonna be the red one and the
Half
blue.
inch PEX for all our red supplies and all our blue supplies. The only way we need 3/4 is at the trunk, that's the big one. So on a tiny house build, there's a good chance we won't even need 3/4 at all. We'll just simply come half inch right to our water heater and right on, because you're supplying relatively small things. You got 5 units that are going, and they're probably not all going at the same time. So you're in pretty good shape to supply all that with just a single. Your hose outside is functioning as your 3/4 inch trunk line. That's where you're getting your bulk of your water, and then you narrow it down to half inch to all the other stuff. Okay. All right. So that's what we got. How many units? How many places? Yeah, 5. 1 sink, 1 wash machine back there, 1 shower, 1 toilet, 1 sink.
So two sinks, 1 toilet, 1 shower, and a washing machine.
You got it. Okay. So that is our fixtures. That is our units. That's where we're trying to go to. Okay. That is called, when water comes to the house, it's called the what? Those are all the supply lines. Supply lines. You got that? You got supply? If I ask you on Wednesday, are you gonna remember? What sizes do the supply lines come in? 3/4 and 1/2. Good job. 3/4 and 1/2. That is the supply lines. Okay. All right. Then you would know. All right. Now, if we want to get rid of the water, we've used it. Archie has scrubbed his COVID-stained fingers in this sink. He has washed away all of the germs, and he stood there, and all his water's going down the drain. Where's he gonna go?
Back into the ground.
back into the ground or back into the septic or back into, it's somebody else's problem, right? But how are we going, what our problem is how are we going to get it, what are we going to trap it in and funnel it all down so that we don't see it again and it goes out the back end of the house. Another pipe. So we're going to use some drainage pipes. So these pipes that we have drawn so far, what do we call them? Supply lines. You got it. Supply. Now we're going to talk about drainage. Drainage pipes. Okay? When you go in your kitchen and you see the sink where Archie washes his little fingers, and you open it and you look underneath, what do you see down there? Have you ever been there? Pipes.
And like faucets.
What kind of pipes are they? Are they skinny little ones like the size of my finger?
They're thick.
No, they're thicker than that, aren't they? How big do you think they are?
3/4.
1.5.
Inch and a half. They're an inch and a half. Inch and a half is the standard for a sink. 2 inch is usually a shower. And then everything leaves the house through a bigger pipe. About this big around.
Like a 4 inch, 3 inch.
Somebody said it back there earlier. 3 inch. 3 inch. That's where your 3 inchers come in. Okay? So let's draw a blow up of our sink. Let's just get our sink in our kitchen. It's something like this. Right? Has a couple big trays in here.
Is that our bathroom
And a
sink?
faucet. No, that's our kitchen. It's our kitchen. We have double in our kitchen. Not a double. Kitchens have doubles, right? You can fill one side and wash your dishes and set them on the other side to drain, stuff like that. You know, the double. But you could have a single, especially in a tiny house. It might suffice. But underneath that sink, we need to hook in, thread onto the bottom, you know, with some special O-rings to seal it up. Now, these drainage lines are different than supply lines because the supply lines have to be pressurized, right? So the pressure's in these. So if you push one or you poke one, it's going to spew outside, right? Or there's no air in them, right? You open the valve and it pushes the water out. But the drainage is not under pressure, right? It just goes down and it goes downhill and it's all on a decline. It just trickles away, okay? So it doesn't have to worry, you don't have to worry about it. So you have it screwed on, 1.5 inch pipe coming down, 1.5 inch pipe coming down. They turn, they come together, and they go down again.
I don't want them to connect. Like, let's say it goes down and then connects.
Like
to
your
the other
your
pipe,
your
then-
sludge comes down and goes back up the other side. No, it'll drop. It'll all go down. Down is help. Gravity helps you. There's also a splitter valve right here that blocks it, so that like if a chunk of potatoes coming down, it hits that, it goes down. You know, and that's where it all gets clogged up, and that's where like at my house all the girls' hair gets clogged in. You know, it's nasty, and you have to take it all apart. But there's another trick to this. Underneath the sink, have you ever seen this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the S.
What do you call that?
The
An S
The S thing.
or a P trap? P trap, also referred to as a P trap. Okay, I think that's because at one time it was in the shape of a P or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, but it comes, water comes down. Why? Why do they want this thing in there? Why do they put that in the sink?
So it doesn't.
You got it, buddy. You got it. Gases. There's gases down here. It's smelly stuff down in the sewer or down wherever. Or it's connected to your toilet, right? You know, and all this stuff is connected. So you're like, the fumes come up. Well, or, you know, rotten potatoes or whatever you put down your drain. And so what you want is a little bit of water to get trapped in there. That's why it's a trap. Water comes down, but at a certain level, it goes over this hump because gravity's pushing it down. Once it levels out, when you're done, there'll be a little bit of water that just stays in there until you use it again, right? And so this stops any fumes from going back. They hit the water and they don't go up. All right. So you need a little trap right there. Keep your stuff.
When you put the pipes back in the ground, does it have to go the opposite way because there's the pipe that goes up and gives the supply water, but does the pipe have to go the opposite way so it doesn't get mixed up with the water that you give?
Well, they're in different lines. So your supply lines are buried under there. So your drain lines could be really close to them because they're in different kinds of pipe. So they could be close. And typically everything goes to the street because the city owns the streets, and so the city runs all their power and water through the streets. So the drainage goes to the street, right? And but we'll show you where it goes in just a second. Let's get through this trap. You pass the trap, where do you need to go? In your kitchen. It goes under the floor. And then it hits some main line. So then you got some bigger line down there. This is your 3-inch trunk line. Your 3-inch trunk. And it dumps into there. Okay? So that as you're trunking along, you might have another unit on it. Like let's say you have your shower. Okay? And your shower has a 2-inch drain right here. 2-inch. And it connects into the big trunk. Okay?
So What's the 2-inch pipe for?
Now, there's the thing, but what's a 2-inch pipe? It's bigger because there's more volume of water.
What do you use it
But what
for?
I gotta do here is make the shower a little higher so we can see this. All right, if the shower were taller and we got a 2-inch line coming out, we need another P-trap. Because the gases could get up, see? So we gotta have this thing in here, and then we'll drop in, 2-inch, okay? So underneath our house, underneath our little trailer, we gotta drop a line in there and put that in too. So we gotta, this one's 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, okay? Drop it into the 3-inch big one, okay? Now, do you think you could do another one, like a toilet? What would you do right here? You put a toilet on, what do you think it needs?
A 2-inch.
Hmm?
A 2-inch.
Okay? A toilet has a 3-inch flange, and it's usually straight down. It usually doesn't take any turns, it goes down. Now, if it does turn, it usually puts a sweeping turn on it, like this, because we're flowing this way, so we put a big sweeping unit on there. But it's basically a big flange, and it's a whole 3 inches wide. Now, I probably don't need to give you the mechanics of why it needs to be 3 inches wide, do I? Like, it's bigger and more stuff goes down it, okay? So, solid stuff, goes down there. So, you need a bigger pipe for that. So that's the 3-inch line hitting into your big 3-inch line, okay? And it's usually right there on the floor. Now, it has a built-in trap because the toilet bowl itself holds water, and then it has, if you've ever looked at the side of one, it kind of shows you the little curve. It has a way that it pushes, in there too, okay? And it's supplied by a line coming in up here, holding water in a tank. And then when you drop the flush, you get the pressure from the little gravity to help you get a 1.6 gallons in a one big surge. And that helps you push everything down, and then you're out. Okay? Now, as it's all traveling on, you gotta add some more things. Another sink, very similar, except it doesn't have one. The washing machine has a drain. The washing machine is a small line too, it's like 1.5. They're 1.5 on both of those. Okay? But the washing machine has a built-in pump so that if your tank, your big tub on your washing machine fills with water, then the pump kicks on at the very end and it drains it out. Or it kicks on in the middle and drains out the bad, and then it adds more water to rinse them, and so it runs through cycles and it does everything for you, and it's amazing. And you live in the modern age, right? All right, it'd be great, I wonder if the Lord would let us do like a simulation when we're like, we could like go back to Roman times, like, and show them this and be like, look what we've done. They would be so fascinated by this. They would just be thrilled. They would be like, you guys did it. Like they were on the right track. They were bringing in water. They had aqueducts. They had stuff, right?
Well, that's weird questions.
If they could see this, they would be like amazed, Look what we've done with ourselves. Okay, all right. So anyway, you get 2 more 1.5 inches. You all hook them all into this trunk, and you send the whole trunk out the back somewhere. Okay. Now, when you haul your tiny house off to live somewhere, or we sell it to somebody, okay, they have to have a place to send all this bad water, right? They have to send all the water out. Okay. I was going to tell you about black and gray water, but since I didn't tell it in the other class, I'm going to save it, okay? So remind me someday about black water, gray water, stuff like that, okay? So you got drainage kind of figured out, drainage lines. You got supply lines. Do you think you could draw a schematic like this? Do you think you could make me a schematic? Over the month of January, the entire month of January, as we learn these pieces, as we look at these things, you could be like, I can do this. I can draw one so detailed that you could take it down to Lowe's or Home Depot, and you could buy all the parts and just show up and build it.
And would our design have to look like that one on the left or that one on the right?
Oh, it needs to look better than both of these. We gotta fix it. That's garbage. We need to get rid of that. That's not. You can't. Nobody can decipher that. You know what's going on there?
Yeah.
No, that's all. That was just for educational purposes only. All right. Now, let's say we're really gonna try to supply this baby. Let's really try. Okay. Let's try to draw it better. Okay. I attempted last time to make a 3D model of our bath. Something like that, right? All here, all here. We're gonna put a toilet in right here, okay? And we're gonna have a shower right here, so we're gonna have a shower valve in the wall. That's one of those like mixer things, right? A little mixer in there, and then the water comes out right here, okay? And over here, we're gonna need to have a hookup for our washer dryer and a drain. But let's just do supply. We won't worry about the drain yet. And then we're gonna have our cool little sink over here that's like long and rectangle and looks like it came out of Aubrey's or something. I don't know. We got a good design team. they'll come up with something cute.
Aubrey's
No, but it's skinny because it's the door, right? If we have a slider door or something, we're gonna have to like, it's gonna take, the sink's gonna be, it's tight in there. I don't know if you've stood in that bathroom before, but it's tiny, okay? And it's tiny now and it doesn't even have walls. Wait till the walls are up, then we'll be like claustrophobic in there. We're like, okay? We got a lot of stuff in our water closet here. You see why the Europeans call it the water closet? It's got all kinds of water in it, right? There's only one other place in our whole house that has water, and that's the kitchen sink. Everything else is in here, right? Okay. Phoenix,
Can I use the bathroom?
if you know where the stuff's going, and you're sending down the drain, then you can go. No, you got it. You got it. I thought you were thinking. I thought you were like processing all this great plumbing knowledge.
It's children assume so many
Your
things.
family been
It made him think about it. It made him think about it. Okay, let's supply this thing. Let's figure out what we need. We need some fittings, okay? So we're gonna get PEX. I don't know if you've ever seen PEX line. It's just this little tiny plastic rubber tube. Their old styles were copper. They used copper lines. And then they used PVC, which, and a certain kind of PVC could be serious supply lines. Those good for a while, but now we have PEX. PEX relatively new. I mean, it's less than 20 years old. So in the last 20 years, we use everything for that. It's better because it lasts longer. It doesn't freeze. It actually has some expansion ability so that if it does ice inside, it doesn't bust the pipe and then start leaking like copper would. So it's good stuff. We love it. Now, it comes in rolls and it's all straight. So if you're gonna weave it around in places, you can't bend it perfectly in a 90 degree. So you have to buy fittings for it, okay? All right, so we'll start with a T fitting, okay? T. You wanna know why it's called a T?
It looks like a T.
Yep, you got it. Drainage, that's these. You got that? You could redraw that from memory?
Yeah.
What if you sleep tonight and you watch a video on plumbing tomorrow and then you come on Wednesday? Would you be able to draw that?
Maybe.
Yeah. By the end of January, you'll be an expert. Okay. All right, we got a T fitting. Oh, something make it small. Oh, what have you done? Oh. Okay. All right. Okay, we make a T fitting like this. Okay, looks something like this. It has little ribs in the end. Okay, and that's a T. See it? You see the T? Okay. You take the PEX and you slip it over here. Okay, and then you put a crimp ring around that, and it'll squeeze it down tight. Okay, and then you put one in all directions. Okay, and then you can get the water sealed in there. Okay, by pressure. Now, you want to have enough pressure that those little rings bite into the line. They bite into it and hold it, and they keep any water from leaking out or squirting out. Okay, so that is we use crimp rings. There are other ways to do it. There's this like gun that spreads it out and melts it into the other PEX. It'll like melt together. There's two different kinds of crimp rings. But we once had a quiz on tools. You remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember the big pair of like plier looking things that had a circle in them?
Yeah.
You open them up and you squeeze them together and crimp them. That's a PEX crimp tool. That's just what it's for, okay? It's gonna be exciting, okay? You're gonna love it. You're gonna crimp these rings on here and you're gonna have a T fitting. Now there's another kind of fitting which is a 90-degree elbow. And these are the two primary ones that we will use, okay? Almost for everything, okay? 90-degree elbow. T fitting, okay?
Oh, T.
These are half-inch PEX T90, okay? Got that? If you went to Lowe's and you walked down the plumbing aisle, which I highly recommend that you do, like that would be awesome, okay? You go down the plumbing aisle at Lowe's and take a selfie of yourself in the plumbing aisle at Lowe's or Home Depot or something similar, and I'll give you extra credit for this. So I'll give you points on some quiz, okay? If you've been in the aisle and you've seen these pieces, okay? Maybe I should just make that an assignment. Like some Friday, you should just go there and wander down the aisle and take pictures of the prices and take pictures of yourself and get all the stuff out in the aisle and put it all together. Don't do that. Maybe not. Okay? All right.
Oh, maybe
But-
so.
But if you take these things, and they're small, I kind of made them big here, but they're half-inch, and then they fit together to make us work. So let's draw a schematic right here, that would tell us what we need to go to the store and buy. Ready?
No.
Okay. What would get you ready, my friend?
Um,
Motivation?
Sleep.
My motivation tool?
yeah, sleep.
I've got a tool. No.
That would
Okay.
get you motivated.
Yeah, get you motivated? Yes, it would. Okay, let's try and draw it. You ready? Are you taking notes? You taking any notes down?
I got it all here.
That's what you think. Well, look at this guy. Notes? Oh,
Where's your notes?
stellar. Look at this. Half inch, 3/4 inch, 90-degree elbows. These are supply, drainage. These are words you're going to want to know. If I were you,
And a pencil?
it would behoove you to write these down. It would be good for you.
It would be very good.
It would behoove you
Behoove you.
to do this, would it not?
Yes.
It would be excellent.
Eli, you got a pencil I can use?
Okay, so, all right, stick with me. Don't get distracted by the man behind the curtain. Don't get distracted. All right, we got supplies coming in here. We're going to bring our water heaters over here. It's heating up water for us.
I thought we wanted
And
to sink.
we have cold. It is. It's over. It's just over here somewhere. Okay, it's not in the bathrooms. You know, don't get distracted. All right. So then we got blue water coming in. It's coming down the wall. Okay, not this wall. It's way back here. Okay. I know it looks weird, but the wall's out here, right? 3 dimensions. Down here in this corner, we need to get a fitting on here that we can supply these two things. Okay. What kind of fitting do we need? A T. All right. Let's tee it off back here. Okay. We know it's right in the corner, but I'm going to make a little black T right there. Okay. Then, from there, I can keep coming. I can bring my pecs to here. I can bring the pecs on down this wall. Now what do I need?
Elbow.
Yeah, I can elbow out. Or actually, I'm going to tee out right here too, because I'm going to keep going. I'm going to put a T right here, so it's poking out. And so I can supply this one with blue water, and I can keep coming down here. Okay? Now I can elbow down here. I'm going to 90 degree down here, because I'm going to hook it into this valve. Okay? 90 degrees. Okay? So now I've got a 90, I got a T, I got a T. What do I want right here?
Elbow or T.
Well, let's do another T. Let's do another T. Let's T right here so we can go down and we can keep going. See, so blue goes down to the toilet. I'm going to put a 90 to stick out of the wall right there. And then I'm going to keep going. Now when I get to the corner of the building, I need to turn again. Let's just 90 in the corner, right? 90 around that corner. And then I keep coming this way. I'm actually coming like straight out to this sink, right? You see it? And then right here, what do I need? I'm on 90 out of there too. So I can come out there. All right? Now, do I need any more lines? I got blue going to here. I got blue going to here. I got blue going to here. And I got blue going to here. Good? 1, 2, 3, 4. Supplied? All right. Let's go to hot water. Hot water's coming out of my hot water heater. It's going to the sink, but you know, we're going to go on down this way. Coming all the way down. Same thing. T? Let's do it. Let's T out of here. Okay. That brings red down to here. Red onto here. Do we need a T here? No, because our toilet doesn't need hot water. Blue cold water will be just fine. All right, so let's 90 on around that corner. Let's skip that. 90 on around that corner. And I'm going to come down here. 90 out of here. And now I can have hot and cold in my mixer and mix it in the sink. Okay? Now, what about over here? I came down this way. Do I need hot water in my wash machine?
Yeah.
I sure do. I'd like to have some hot water. Clothes require hot water. Cleans well, makes the soap good. So I'm gonna put a T off right there and have a hot water line. And then I'm gonna keep going. Come on down here to the shower. What am I gonna do there?
Elbow.
You got it. Elbow that in. All right, now those are pointing up, but they would actually be pointing out, right? I just can't draw that very well, but it would be sticking out this way, and you'd be able to hook them into a valve. Or your valve would be mounted in just the right spot that hopefully we could 90 once and get right into the bottom of it, hook it up. Okay? Now, so if I went to the store to buy this, what all would I need? I'm probably going to go ahead and add a T for this, because I do know that it's going this way to the sink, right? We don't have the sink calculated yet, but if we were going to go to the store and buy our whole house, I'd go ahead and throw the kitchen sink on there and try to figure it all out too, which is what I want you to do here in a minute.
Maybe like 10 teas.
For the teeth, don't they come in packs?
They do,
Yes.
and they often come in 10 packs,
So just-
and they're relatively cheap. So for a tiny house build, that's why it's so great, because you go buy a 10 pack, you're probably done.
Same with
but-
elbows, right?
Yeah, same with elbows, so probably. But if you were calculating what you're trying to get an exact number, okay? And that's why plumbers have vans and they just have boatloads of everything on there because they forget something or run into a problem and need something else. They go just get their stuff out of their van. And it's really relatively cheap. But right now, just making a supply list, if I were to do so, I would say that I want to get how many teas?
10.
1, 2, 3, 4. If you count that one, 5. Let's just get 5. 5 T, half-inch PEX fittings. Okay? Got it? How many elbows? How many 90 degrees?
3, 4.
1, 2. Probably need some here too because you turn down and then have to poke out. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 90-degree elbow PEX fittings. Okay? All right? Yes, Phoenix.
I think you might need, 2 more, actually, cause,
Here.
yeah, I think you need 2 at the, or 4 at the sink, because won't it, like,
Oh,
bend down?
okay. This is very good. This is a very good observation. I like what you're thinking. Yes, if my PEX lines can line up exactly down the wall where we want them, okay, then all we would have to do is come along this, let's say this rail was our line. We laid our lines in there and we turned right here, we just 90'd out, and we can hook it right into our faucet, right? But if we actually want to go below the cabinet, right, to put some shut-off valves down there, so we're going to put little valves so we can turn the water on and off, so we can disconnect that sink if we need to fix the faucet or something. So we probably do need to go down the wall, turn, and then turn again to come out. So he's probably right, although I'm envisioning this sink being higher and not having a cabinet under it because I'm thinking it's a floating, fancy Aubrey sink or something, I don't know. But if it would just come along the wall, we could stick it straight out, it would only take 1 set of 90s. But it's questionable, and he's thinking very well. That is a great thought for how many of these do we buy. So if we buy a 10-pack of each, we should be all right for the bathroom. Now, if we go over here and we start calculating some more, and our sink needs a couple more, and we just keep on working, then we may need even more than 10 each. But we can at least start by trying to. Our schematic is telling us how many we need and giving us a ballpark. And if we actually tried that a few times, now the good thing is we have some distance from the back wall. We have 5 or 6 feet, so we probably could angle the PEX lines if we're thinking about it. If we know where the sink actually is, we can angle the lines and make it work, right? Super cool. Okay, how about line? How much PEX do we need? How much actual roll of tubing do we need? Probably, like, our building's 8 foot wide, so the walls are not that far, but let's just go 8 to give ourselves some buffer, okay? So 8 foot here, 8 foot here, probably 8 foot here. We got at least 5 on the back wall. Something like 8, 8, and 8 is 24, plus 5 is like 29. I'm gonna need some small ends here, I need a small end there. I need at least 40 feet. I need 40 feet of red and 40 feet of blue. Is there any difference in the red and blue in terms of what the plastic's made of? One's hot and one's cold.
The plastic's the
It's
same, right?
just there to show you what color the lines are. Plastic is identically the same, but hot water flows from one end. It shows you, if you ever open the wall, which one's your hot line, which one's your cold. Now the pipe to the bathroom sink is also a drainage pipe, 1.5 inches. The PEX line's all 1/2 inch.
Oh, sorry.
It's 1.5 inches. Okay, the video I want you to watch tomorrow is how plumbing works.